Share your heart, show your work, peoples. Allison Crow here. Welcome, replay viewers, and welcome. What's up with the crooked glasses or something? I must have set them down and they bent. Welcome to the Share Your Heart, Show Your Work group. This is going to be a quick live stream about the prompts for day 2 and a little story that prompted it. And so just so you guys know, my intention for the prompts is kind of to do 2 heart-based questions and then 1 really work-based question, and 2 heart-based questions and 1 really work-based question. So I'm going to lay you up for totally talking about your work, but I also want to teach you to the share your heart part, right, is the part that can also help us. And let me grab real quick, let me hop on so I can see y'all's comments. I don't have my iPad with me. I'm broadcasting from my desktop, which takes a whole bunch of crazy, equipment. So let me make sure, all right, let me get that up and going so I can see you guys. Share your heart, show your work. Okay, here we are live. Perfect. Got the view, and now I can see your comments. You can turn that volume down so we don't hear ourselves. W. If you're here, say hi in the comments so that I know you're here. Okay, so here is the prompt from day 2. Hi, Donald. Welcome. Here's the prompt for day 2. And I'm gonna talk it out first, and then I'll form it into a question. I was just discussing with a client of mine who used to work for a really large company, and she was the chief of staff. Let me see how she put it. Yes, she says, I'm the chief of staff. I work in the background. And this woman is a super, super powerful woman. And many of you are super, super powerful people, and you do amazing work. And for a lot of us, there's really a disconnect that happens because there is a new way. When we're using social media, we can't help but be in front of our audience. And actually, we can't help but need to create an audience. And so it can be a little tricky to go from the brick and mortar type business or even a more corporate structure where you know, when I was a real estate coach, I worked with real estate agents and they worked with their clients, okay? And also when I was a real estate coach, I was in an office full of realtors that walked by my door that happened to see my shingle out, right? And so there was kind of an inner stream of business provided for me, right? It's like I threw my fishing line into a stocked pond. And the reality is many of us in our businesses are not throwing our fishing pole into a stocked pond, which means we have to stock our pond. And this is the biggie right here. So it also means, are you ready to be a public figure? So we talked yesterday or today was about how do you feel about being visible? That's one thing. And what I think is so fun is how many people actually really want permission to be visible. We want to be visible, a lot of us. And yes, it's terrifying, but we want to learn how to do it. So give yourself permission to take practice. You're doing this. I did just tell my client who has been through Share Your Heart, Show Your Work twice. She's been in the masterminds. She's amazing. She's a pro. And even her and even myself, sometimes we forget that we're constantly works in progress, that we're still learning. And she's been doing a lot of other sharing, but she hasn't done a lot of video sharing. She's done a little bit, but the video really knots her up. And so I get that with you guys. That's what we're doing. One of the reasons we're doing this. We're doing this in a playful way. That's one of the reasons I'm bringing the prompts to give you something to talk about so that you don't have to, you don't have to struggle, right? You can, I love the idea of, you know, one of my coaches says, you can always blame it on me. Tell them your coach said, right? And so when you participate in these challenges, you know, you don't have to talk from scratch, okay? And so the question I would like for you, and this is another heart question, but let me see if how's not the right question. Are you ready to be a public figure? Now, I don't mean like Oprah famous, I don't mean celebrity, but the fact in the online world. So one of the things that I've shared is one of the reasons we're doing this is because exposure creates engagement, engagement creates influence, influence creates impact. And when you begin to make an impact on people, they're experiencing you. It's much easier to get them to buy your work, to sell them their services, to create mutual working agreements with each other, to sell our stuff, right? So it's share your heart, show your work. And the whole reason we do that, yes, it's fun, but in this group, we're all professionals. So we have a sell your stuff, right? And we've got to just own. I love Elise is so good at helping remember. She's like, Allison, your dick is huge. And what she means in her beautiful crass way, first of all, I'm crass too, so it works, is she's like, don't forget how amazing you are, right? And each one of you have something amazing. And the reality is, when we are getting on Facebook Live, we are pulling up our little stage, your own little stage. We're not waiting for Oprah to invite us to be on her show anymore. We're creating our own little mini shows. So the question for you is, do you see yourself as a public figure or an influencer in your work? And what does it feel like to consider stepping truly into the power of that light? And I'll reframe the question in a way that makes more sense. One of the best things that I do is I actually, when I plan, I start thinking. But when I just get up and I start babbling and I start talking, it's actually when the zing hits, when the wisdom comes. And so I'll reframe the question and put it in the title, and I'll update the document. I'm going to create a running document. But I want you to think, so this is, you're talking to your people and you say, this is the question that was asked me today. Am I ready to be a public figure in my business? Am I ready to be the superstar of my business? And even if you're an artist, right? And let's say the art is really the art is really your showpiece, and the art is the star, but you're the star too, right? So this idea is that, and I think a lot of us have, like, we want our work to be out there, but we don't want to have to be seen. We want to be discovered, right? Giovanna and I talked about that. I would love to be discovered. But the reality is, we're not going to be discovered unless we're willing to put our shoulders confidently, lovingly. And when I say confident, I mean from this beautiful, pure place, not from a cocky ego place, but from just a centered, you know what? I do great work. I'm not really sure how to put it out there, but I'm determined to get good at sharing the wisdom I have, the services I have, the ideas I have on making an impact on your life, whatever that may be. So let me check real quick. Let me check at the comments. Okay, Janelle, you asked a great question. I did my first one today. Thanks for the encouragement. Perfect. Are you talking about me? Well, Janelle, I didn't tell him that I was talking about you. I just said I was talking to a client. But I love your willingness to out yourself. Okay, how do you be visible and successful without feeling like you then have an image to live up to? You want to know the answer to that, Alicia? You be you. You be you. So one of the things y'all will notice what is up with my glasses? Like, why are they so janky? I did order the non-glare glasses. So see, do you see that? Like, that was not planned, and I also kind of feel a little insecure about getting nervous about my glasses, but here's the thing. I am quirky. I am wordy. I am not concise. I have a little bit of a lip and a little bit of a language. And sometimes I ramble to get to the point, but when I get to the point, it's fucking exquisite. And now it did not happen overnight, but through expressing myself, I got comfortable with who I am. When I sat and thought about who I wanted to be, I never became who I really am. When I sat and studied and daydreamed, envisioned about what I want to be in this life, I never became it. And so Janelle is so fun because Janelle is one of the people that she said in our mastermind day, she was like, so you mean I have to babble? Babble is the new black? Babble is the way to brilliance? And I'm like, yes, that's it. So those of you that are new in your business and you don't really know what direction, you want to know one of the best ways to get direction is to babble about it. So how you be visible and successful is trust that you can be successful being you. You're not putting out an image that isn't real. You're just being you. You're just being, as someone said today, totally you. Varian's mama, she rings in my ear, Varian's mama, I don't have to be successful to anybody but myself. Oh, and yeah, I gotta have clients to be successful, but here's the thing, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that think Allison Crow is a quack, she's got a foul mouth, they don't vibe with me, and that's okay. Like, have you ever watched a video or seen something, you're like, oh, I don't want to see that. You know what, there's probably a gazillion. You know how many people have unfollowed or unfriended me? Tons. When I focus on that, I feel like shit. But you know how many of you are here? How many messages I get every day? And you know why? Because I open my mouth. Because I babble, because I talk, because I don't worry about having to live up to the public image. The only person that has to be satisfied with who I am is me. And the more I'm satisfied with who I am, the more clients that come my way, actually. So this whole practice of expressing yourself, putting yourself out there is actually the path to figuring out who you are. I always joke that, or not joke, but it's true. The only things I don't talk about are my sex life and my eliminations in the toilet. Everything else I share with you guys. Okay, Janelle says, I love being the person that dials behind the scenes, having an impact that way. And I totally get it. So what's a girl to do? Is there a way that we can do this without being on Facebook Live? Can't be old school public figure, not on video? Janelle Cobb, I love you and get over it. The world needs you. You're hiding out. I've seen you on video. It's amazing. And as an introvert, you guys, video is really amazing. As a behind the scenes person, once you get comfortable being on camera, and trust me, being comfortable on camera, all it takes is time. All it takes is time. All it takes. That's why I say do 50 live streams. And not 50 recorded videos, because in a recorded video, you play it back and you worry about it. Do you know how many times I've had like something in my teeth or had to sneeze or my dogs bark? Life happens. But in between that is the brilliance. Okay, let me make sure. Right, so here's the thing. You guys, and I really didn't want to sneak into the content for the class because I want to save that for the class. But I noticed that I put in here this question. Let me look at my notes. I put in here this question. It's a multi-part question, but the one I want to talk about, are you ready and willing? Are you ready and willing to be a public figure instead of a secret agent? And maybe that's the question. Am I ready and willing to be a public figure? And a public figure does not mean you're a politician. It does not mean you're a celebrity. It just means that you're willing to be out there leading. You're a leader. Every one of you in a business, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a coach, if you want a behind the scenes job, you guys, then go get a behind the scenes job. But doing social media is not a behind the scenes job unless you want to pay somebody else a lot of money to run Facebook ads and do the work for you. Okay, let me check in comments. So here's the thing about Facebook Live. And today, Jessica Rose posted, she said, I want to share the social proof. She already did Varian's 10-day challenge. She's doing mine, and she's already had an amazing, dramatic impact in supporting herself and her business. Already. You guys, Kay Blonde wasn't just with video. Okay, so this whole class is not just about Facebook Live. This is just one aspect of it. But never before have we had the opportunity to let our clients experience us and our work. So those of you that are artists or photographers, we're going to have an opportunity in this 10-day challenge for you to show your work, to show you doing your work. right? So it doesn't matter what your business is, but the reality is we're not brands like Nike or Home Depot or whatever, right? That's a different game. But the reality is, so like Amy Wingreen is Soul Candy, and she's changed from um, oh my gosh, and Amy, I can't, I don't know that you're on here, but Amy went from Soul Candy, which was her brand, and now she's Amy Wingreen Live, or she may have a different middle name or last name. I get the double names on Facebook mixed up, right? But see, so she's realizing that just being that one product of Soul Candy, that she wants to expand and have a greater impact. So she is shifting because she's ready. Instead of her Soul Candy being the only star, she's ready to step up and be the public figure. So that's the question. Are you ready and willing to be the public figure instead of a secret agent? And the second question is, if you're not quite ready, what do you have to believe about yourself? What do you have to believe about yourself? I'm going to write that down. Believe? What do you have to believe about yourself to go ahead and do that? And here's what I love. Some of you, those of you who already did day one, you're already doing it. Hello, the second you hit live, you're a public figure. Okay, let me look at these. So don't just think, yes. Maria, get that one. Let's see. How do you be visible? Monique did her first one. I don't know if I'm going up or down. Okay, wrong direction. It's not the how, it's the willingness to do it in order to achieve. See, the how, do you know how the how, y'all have already all done the how. You've hit the red button. That's the how. And I promise you, I look comfortable on video. I'm very comfortable on video, except for I still notice how I look. I've become obsessed with how I look. It's crazy, but it's actually a nice little perk because I look better than I did 9 months ago. When you do it more and more and more and more, you quit caring about all the things you care about on the first video. And I watched a couple people's lives today that had never done it before, right? Like Amy did hers sideways, and it was so fun because afterwards she was like, hey, this is getting kind of comfortable, right? That's one of the reasons we have you go for 7 minutes. Catherine, just set yourself in front of a window. Daylight is the best light. You've got this. But my eyelashes are still awesome. Yes, they are. Thank you. Being you, Donald, being you, whether energetic or not, is part of your compelling purpose. I'm willing to be me and my clients keep coming back. I know it is trust too. Yes. Nadine did her first challenge. Okay, perfect. I'm going the correct direction. So that's my question. I know I've kind of gone on a little bit more, but I wanted to encourage you. Even Diane Black. Do you know that Diane Black has done a gazillion? She's been doing like 2 to 3 periscopes every day for over a year now. And even Diane Black texted me and was like, oh my God, I don't want to do tomorrow. Like, I'm scared to death. And we had a nice little pep talk because Facebook Live is different from Periscope, and she got used to Periscope. And yeah, all that's different is the technology. But Star Hearts, you are amazing. And no more than if I walked into a party or a living room or a social event and we sat down, even if you're shy. Do you know that at a social event, I'm a wallflower, right? But you get to have, and this is what's so beautiful about these, is that it's an engagement. You don't have to stand up and perform. Facebook Live is not for performing. That's what recorded videos are for. Facebook Live is really a conversation. It's you inviting people. I remember one time, you guys, I did it. It was a Periscope, but I did a Periscope walking down to the CVS to buy wine, showing people my neighborhood. Who knew that it would be such a hit? But they loved it. I sat out in my backyard one time and talked about the ghosts that live in my house and the history of my house because I live in this really old house. I thought that would, somebody asked me a question and we ended up talking for an hour and a half on a live stream about the ghosts that live in my house. They loved it. It wasn't planned. I didn't think, I've got to have my little 3 points. And so this is a little bit different. It's okay to be you. It's okay what I shared with Diane Black today. So Diane Black is like so pro. That woman is a facilitator. That's who she is. She is being her. Okay. Even when she comes to my house and paints and everybody else is painting all messy, Diane Black She just got her system and her way, and that is her. If she did it my style, it wouldn't be her. And I did encourage her to, so some of her best videos and some of her biggest impact when she was over on Periscope doing live streaming, some of the biggest impact would be when she'd pull over her car because she had a thought and she just dropped her kids off from school and she shared off the cuff. And so that's what a combination of what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to be doing some totally off the cuff stuff. Towards the end, I might get you to plan a little bit. But all of it is a grand experiment. And when you're done, if this is your first time, you will be 1/5 of the way to 50. You have already gotten 10 out of 50 videos. And I guarantee you, once you've done 50 videos, then if you were my paying client, and Janelle is, I would tell you, Janelle, once you've done 50 live streams, and I don't care if it's over the next 100 days, I double dog dare you to do 50 live streams over the next 100 days, that then you can decide whether or not you want to be a public figure, right? But I guarantee you, videos 1 through 10, you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to wig out. You're going to want to quit. Resistance is going to show up. But trust me, by video 25, you're like, chill, bitch, I got this. Okay, let me go back to comments. Okay, how do you see your comments and do the live in front of an easel like Diane? Okay, for artists, it is a little bit more challenging. Okay, so that's a little bit more challenging. It really is. Now, when you're doing live, so like normally you do it on your phone, okay? But you can hit the button and turn it around, right? So you can flip your camera. Diane, if she doesn't want her words to be backwards, and she said she's not going to work that hard, she's going to have to use 2 devices. So Muddy did a video in our group that says it solves the reverse image problem. And I guarantee you, I'll call it right now, that Facebook will eventually correct that. Okay. So it takes a little bit more. I've done a live stream. I have for artists, I actually have a separate camera that does a wide angle lens. How do you do comments? So like right now, I'm live streaming through my computer through a software that's kind of complicated, but I can't see comments online as well as I can see comments right here. So I'm reading comments on my second device. And if you don't have to have, so that's the other thing. You can start at step 1 or step 101, and I can take you, I can meet you at step 1, which is just your device, and I can meet you at step 101, which is having somebody else produce your show. You just show up and do it, but you got to have the cash to spend it. Y'all, I know my shit, okay? And if you think you're getting the good stuff on the free version, just wait till you sign up for the class. And yes, why am I doing this? Out of the complete benevolence of my heart, yes. Plus, I want you to sign up for the class. So sign up for the class. You'll love it. I promise. I will give you enough knowledge that you can spend the next of the year implementing and make your $100,000. Okay. My eyelashes are awesome. I'm going to keep going back to that one. Catherine, just set yourself up. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. On the computer, it's one way. That's why I do my paintings on recorded. Yes, so Brenda, that's perfect, because ultimately right now we're just playing and experimenting, but ultimately, and in the class, one of the things I'm going to have you do is start thinking about your conscious strategy, right? So a lot of this happened unconsciously for you, but those of you who want a strategy and a plan, you can do a combination. There are so many types of videos, so you can do a combination of painting that's recorded and then posted, which is different from interacting with people that come into your studio. Okay, how do you get your web address on the live stream? Okay, have fun, love you. Mwah. So right now you're seeing my logo. I will teach that to the class members, but I'm using software. Ooh, I love how that, when I point to it, like it's focusing on it. So I'm using a special software to live stream from my desktop and my fancy camera with my fancy lighting, because I'm sure y'all can hear my husband tinkling in the other room. That's brilliant. Okay, so live is better. So here's what live does, Catherine. Live is not better or worse, but Facebook Live gives us an opportunity that we've had video for years, right? You could produce video, but Facebook Live, you guys are in my studio. I'm talking with you as if you were in the room. So it's tons more personal. So it's not just exposure. When you do a video, you get exposure. You put it out there, you get exposure. But when you do a Facebook Live, your exposure turns into engagement because we are engaging. I know, it's crazy. I'm up so late, my phone just went into, it changes colors when it's like my bedtime. Okay, Muddy, not Woody. Did I say Woody? Can you tell I'm tired? It's 9 o'clock. I'm normally in bed. Oh, Janelle said that. Are you going to do the first one with you? Yes, Janelle. So I'm bringing my live stream. I'm bringing my live event where we can do 2 people together. I'm so glad you love me. You hate me. That's why you pay me the big bucks. Catherine, you saw the one where I was going to do wine. So here's what's funny. I share puppy videos. I share wine videos. Do you know that all of that is part of my marketing? I know that now. I didn't know that before, but this is the whole, like, you are your business. It's not just your work. Okay. How do you see your comments? Oh, I keep going the wrong way on this one. Sorry, you guys. Catherine Stanley Hart. So Sarah Ballard was on Periscope, and she was the one that taught me. She said, Allison, because in the video, when you're doing a recorded video, like they say, don't let it be longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, I cannot do anything in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So she said, oh yeah, like I do card readings, I make malas, and she said, I've seen people paint. She's like, dude, you could do like a 3-hour painting session. I was like, what? So I haven't seen that on Facebook Live yet, but I know on Periscope, and I have set up my wide angle lens camera, and I have painted without looking at the camera on Facebook Live on my business page once just to test it out. And I didn't interact, and I don't know if I even had any viewers, but it's up there. But I did it on Periscope, and I did have interaction, and I painted for 3 hours with people watching, and we had a brilliant time. I made some amazing soul friends for the rest of my life that came in and saw that. And actually the painting that I have is really, really magical. But I did every single piece of that painting live stream. Not a second of that painting has been painted not on live. Yes, I'm bringing my Mevo. Too long. Hey, 3 hours? Yeah, see, that's a thing. So right now there's no rule about it. And the other thing about live streaming is you don't have to stay here the whole time, right? It's okay to pop in and pop out. There's so much to learn, you guys, and this is one of those things. I can tell you all day long, and I'm going to close out, and I'll tell you the questions one more time, but I can tell you all day long how to ride a bike. I can explain it to you. I can give you tips. I can write it out. I can give you a blog post. I can even show you a picture of me riding a bike. But until you put your butt on that little banana seat and you ring your bell and you start pedaling, and just like riding a bike, when you first go, you're all wobbly. The chair rolled out of the way, right? But Janelle Cobb, you're a mountain biking motherfucker, right? Why? Because you've done it. And this video stuff is like it is, and it's so new, but you guys, it is an opportunity that I do not want you to waste. And so the questions for day 2, which is tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the questions in the evening. I'm going to do the questions the day before and then the following day. That's just how it's going to work out with my schedule. And since I'm the boss of me and I'm leading this, I'm going to do what works for me. The number one question is, are you ready and willing to be a public figure instead of a secret agent? Because a secret agent or a secret business person is really hard to be discussed. You can't sell your work if you're a secret. So are you ready and willing to be a public figure so that you're answering the question, am I ready and willing to be a public figure instead of a secret agent? And then the second one is, if I'm not, Or either way, what do I have to believe about myself to move forward with confidence? That's what it is. What do I have to believe about myself and my business to move forward with confidence? So those are the two questions. I look forward to watching your videos tomorrow. I looked at my calendar and somehow, other than getting my nails fixed and my hair foofed, I don't have anything on my calendar, so I get to play and watch your videos all day long. Okay? Thank you all for those of you who shared the group, who've shared the contest, it's not a contest, who have shared the class, who have shared the, oh, see, it's late, I'm losing my words. Let me just say thank you. I'm glad you're here. It's an amazing community. Double dog dare you to share it out public on your feed, okay? I know some of you took your baby steps and did it in here, but here's the thing. I decided yesterday, I realized I have two versions of me. I have the soft, tender, loving mother, but then I also have to remember that this is a group of businessmen and women. And so I'm going to treat you as capable and able because you are learners. You're willing to learn. You're willing to grow. You're willing to do what it takes, right? You're willing to stretch yourself. You're willing to have fun along the way. You're willing to get creative. So I'm going to see you as resource. You're willing to, here's another one, pet peeve, you guys, love you. You're willing to Google that shit, okay? So every once in a while, you may ask a question, and I may say Google that shit. If you can find the answer on Google, please don't ask me. I love you, but I want to teach you. So when I was a real estate coach, if a client came to me with a blank contract and said, will you help me write this contract? I said, nope, write it first. So a lot of times I will ask you to answer your own question, okay? Because I want you to be great. I want you to be, I want to help you remember that you are actually really resourceful, right? That you are capable, that you can figure stuff out. Right? Because when you do that, it gives you confidence. You don't need me. Right? You can figure it out. Okay? So I do want to help. So if you can Google that shit, please don't ask me. Oh, God. Okay, one last check of comments. I had to tell you my excuse. Well, then do live streams with your baby. I think that's brilliant, especially since you're talking about motherhood and what nobody wants to tell you about motherhood. So do that with your baby on your knee, honey. Have you not seen my baby barking and whining? It's chaotic. I am taking steps to move forward. I am hiring the trainer to come and help me with the barking dogs. Still have to get mine done today. Just got out of class. I have to tell you my excuse. I have a baby. I love that. Totally. And guess what my people want to hear about me being a mama? See? It's perfect. Nobody wants the polished us. We are not trying to be Marie Forleo here. God bless her. But that's another thing. Right? We are being ourselves. Okay, so here's my questions. Am I ready and willing to be a public figure instead of a secret agent? And what do I have to believe about myself? Okay? And even though that's a yes or no question, obviously go into the hard answer of that, you guys. All right. Peace out. I love you. Join the class. We can have this fun for a long time. Okay? Join the class. Love you guys. Bye.